Welcome to part 4 of how to build Twitter. Today we'll be discussing how to post a tweet, and once you understand how to post a tweet, it will be easy for you to even delete, update the post once it has been published onto the database. So let's first begin by this I have created while offline, and this final code is available in the GitHub repository. I urge you to experiment with the front end. This is like a classic Twitter layout. So this here over here, whatever I type over here, when I click on this button, I should see something being logged, or there should be some response that in the database the post has been put by this user. So if I click on this again, you can see that there are some logs here which is high there, because if we go into the editor, don't be overwhelmed by this. I have just written a handle submit handle tweet where I just console log high there. First, let's understand how to write this thing. So if you see over here, I have made this component use client because we will be using state variables like use state to capture the content of the tweet, and that's why there is user interactivity. That's why it should be a client component. Then we have an image because we will be displaying this image, and there is a text area which has the on value change to be set content, and there is a button which handles tweet. Now what we can do is we can start writing the logic of our application. So if I just, yeah, so this is the logic of our application. Let us read from top. So let me comment this out and let's read it one by one. If you can see, the first thing which we encounter is event prevent default. That means there should not be any refresh of the screen as soon as the page is being loaded or this component is being mounted. Then we first capture a toast, like we are on the process of tweeting. Then we have from the session, because we have signed in the email thing from session data user. And if you see here, we are using use session from next auth react, and as I have discussed earlier, use session is given by next auth to do session management inside the application. Now let's define the const response which will be capturing it. So const response equals to await fetch, and we have to, let me just enable copilot for faster writing, and it will be /API/tweet, and the arguments will be method is a post method, then content type headers, or yeah, headers which we have to send is the content type is application.json, the body is stringify email and content. Yeah, so now what we can do is, first we can capture the data given by the response.json by converting it to JSON. Then we can do bunch of stuff. If the response is okay, then we will make the content to be empty. We will dismiss this tweeting toast. We will make a new toast that post has been successful, and we can route the user to this URL. You can just ignore it for now. There is no need for this. And if there is an error, we can toast it, as well as we can console log. We can just data.error the toast and fail to post tweet. Let's now write the backend. Let's write the backend logic. So to write the backend logic, you have to go to API and create a folder which is tweet, and then create a route.ts file in it. So if we go here, you can see I have written already the logic, but let me just comment it down for you, and let me just remove everything from here. Me remove unnecessary things. So what essentially we are doing, so first we will import next response next request from the next server. We will import Prisma client from @Prisma client, because we need Prisma here to actually put the tweet into the database. Now let's look at try catch statements. First let me just comment this out, and let us go step by step. Let us write ourselves also. So const, we need email and content of the tweet. We need email because that's the unique parameter in the schema. From this email we will match the user and then we will push the content. Now if the email doesn't exist or it doesn't come by the front end side, we have to return an error that both things are required. Now we have to search for the user by writing await prisma.user find unique user, where the email is this email. Let me write it down, this email, such that we are understanding this. And if an email doesn't exist in the database, we have to then make that there is no user found, so 404 error. But if we find a user, then we have to make a tweet, store it in a variable const tweet, await prisma.tweet create, which is given by the Prisma library, the ORM. The data should be put content as well as user ID, which associates with user's email, which we have captured over here. So after that it is done, we can just return next JSON response with the tweet being returned and status 201. If there are any errors, we can return the errors and console the errors. Finally, we need to disconnect the Prisma such that there are no multiple connections being put onto the database through our Prisma thing. So let's go over here. Now let's test this. So let me click on this. You can see the toast is being done, tweet posted successfully. And I have also written the logic of the profile thing and fetching the data from the database. And okay, server is down. Don't know why the server is down, but maybe there are some errors. I know the exact error because I have commented out the route.ts file. Let me uncomment it. This was the delete thing. Now let me refresh the page. You can see that you will be able to fetch the tweets, and you can see I have written hi there over here, and there is also June 19 2024, which is created in the new date format. So that's about how to create a tweet. Similarly, you can also experiment with writing delete. So just try out experimenting with it. Now this is the part 4 of the video. So the last part is how to deploy this. So let me show you my GitHub page, and from there how did I deploy the application. So this, you have to push the code into your GitHub account. I hope you know that. If not, then just look at a Git tutorial. Now if you go to Vercel, what you can do is you can go to project and you can just import a new repository like this Redux. If you import it, it will ask a bunch of things: the project name, the environmental variables. Here this is very important. So if you go into your project, go to the exact env file. I won't be exposing mine. Just copy this and just paste it over here. So you will see all the secrets are being pushed into the environmental variables of the Vercel, and it would be easy for the Vercel to understand, okay, these are the environmental variables. If you click on deploy, the project will be deployed. I have already deployed my project, so I won't be deploying it again, but you can see the end deployment over here. If you go over here, see production deployment, and this gives me a domain, and this is the final application. I hope you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed watching the series. Some to-dos which you can further do after following this course is making a delete request, put request, make a profile page, and make some more UI stuff. What else you can do? You can do further state management using Redux or Recoil, and you can also have a sign out thing. So just experiment out with it. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.
ਦੁਨੀਆਦਾਰੀ ਚੋਂ ਜੋ ਤਰਾਸ਼ ਬਣਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਬਣਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਆਮ ਜਿਹੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਖਾਸ